What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Real Reviews with Ryan Stark, the podcast where I talk about movies, shows, fandom messes, and occasionally, like today, I subject myself to trash just so I can warn you not to watch it. You're welcome. Now, today's episode is a little special. We are diving into one of the most notorious disasters to ever crawl out of LP's tube, the unauthorized reboot of LPS popular by MLPFever. And let me be blunt here, it's a flaming dumpster fire that completely disrespected the original's legacy and its devoted fans. But I am not going through this hellscape alone. Joining me is the one person on the internet who can outsass me, drag me, and hype me up all in the same sentence, the 14-year-old queen of snark herself, Jacquel Rassenworth.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Jacquel. Thanks for having me, Ryan. And yeah, let's get this out of the way right now. This reboot? Hot. Garbage. Like, I could literally smell the disrespect through my screen.
Exactly. And for anyone who doesn't know the history, first of all, shame on you. But second, let me recap. Back in 2010, SophieGTV created LPS Popular, the series that walked so the entire LPS2 community could run. It was a teen drama done with Littlest Pet Shop toys, and it was brilliant. We had Savannah Reed, the sweet new girl from Montana, clashing with her old childhood friend turned Queen Bee, Brooklyn Hayes. Drama, betrayal, makeovers, toxic friendships, cute boys like Sage Bond and Tom Dawson, it had everything. It's iconic.
Like literally the blueprint of 99% of all LPS Tube videos. Without SophieGTV, LPS Tube wouldn't even exist. Period. End of sentence.
So, when someone decides, hey, let's reboot this popular web show without permission, you'd expect maybe they'd at least try to honor the source. Nope. Not even close. They actively sabotage everything that made the original great.
Nah, MLPFever basically grabbed the story, chewed it up, spit it out, and said, here, fans, deal with this masterpiece, a truly disrespectful act that insulted the entire legacy of the beloved original series.
Let's start with the so-called creative choices. Savannah suddenly becomes friends with Alicia Hamilton, who, last time I checked, was a straight-up villainess alongside Rachel Rivera. That's like Buffy becoming besties with a vampire. This literally makes no sense, mainly because it instantly killed the central conflict, demonstrating that the remake fundamentally misunderstood the core rivalries and character dynamics that made the original web show so compelling.
Right? Alicia literally helped Brooke make Savannah's life miserable in the OG show. You don't just suddenly braid each other's hair and sip bubble tea like nothing happened. That's character assassination, not development. It's an absurd narrative choice that betrays the established history and core conflicts of the series.
Then there's Brooke. Oh, God. Brooke Hayes, the original Queen Bee, reduced to a nerd. Glasses, awkward tropes, like she walked out of some bad Wattpad fanfic. And I've read better Wattpad fanfic than this unauthorized mess. The writers completely stripped her of her iconic ruthlessness and depth, turning her into a hollow shell of her former, legendary mean girl self for no good reason.
I understand what you mean, Ryan. It's disrespectful. Brooke was ruthless, stylish, manipulative, yes, but she was also layered. She wasn't just a villain, she was compelling. Now she's some awkward bookworm who likes to play Roblox? No thanks. Her complexity was what made her iconic, and the remake stripped her character down to a lazy, uninspired cliché. And I hate those types of characters.
And don't even get me started on the Brooke, Savannah LGBT storyline they forced in just to earn some clout. Look, I'm all for good representation. But when it's slapped in just for shock value or shipping wars, it feels cheap. And here? It wasn't earned. It was a desperate move to generate buzz, completely ignoring the complex, established rivalry that made their dynamic interesting in the first place, thus cheapening the entire narrative for everyone.
Exactly. Representation matters, but it has to mean something. This was like, oh, let's just make them kiss, that'll stir drama. Gross. Nobody asked for it, and it just spat in the face of their actual dynamic, sacrificing years of established narrative for a fleeting moment of cheap fan service and controversy.
Now, I'll admit, I tried. I got through season 1, which was like wading through quicksand. Then I dipped into season 2, and I was like, nope, done. Couldn't do it anymore. The continuous character inconsistencies and the utter confusion of the plot became physically painful to watch. It truly lacked the polish and storytelling magic of the original web series.
You're a stronger toy than me, Stark. I only made it through 7 episodes of the first season before rage quitting. As in, I literally slammed my laptop shut and yelled, "Not today, Satan." I have better things to do with my life, like algebra homework. And that's saying something, because even complex polynomials are less frustrating to deal with than watching that entire train wreck of a storyline and its butchered character arcs.
That should tell you everything, people. A 14-year-old would rather do math than watch this reboot. It is a true indictment of the show's quality when the alternative is complex polynomial equations. The reboot is a narrative failure, disrespecting the original's foundation and the audience's intelligence. Case closed.
And here's the thing, if you want to remake or reboot something, fine. But you better bring respect to the table. You don't hijack somebody else's story, flip it upside down, and act like it's yours. That's stealing, and it ultimately shows a lack of original creativity. Honor the foundation, or go make your own story from scratch instead of capitalizing on someone else's work.
Preach. SophieGTV put years of hard work into LPS popular. It built the foundation of LPS tube culture. To take that without her blessing? That's a slap in the face to her and to every fan who stuck with the original for nearly a decade. It is a fundamental disrespect for the creative property and the lasting legacy she established. That kind of entitlement and unauthorized rebooting harms the entire community's integrity.
Exactly. You want to make an edgy LPS teen drama? Cool. Do your own thing. Just don't hijack LPS popular. That's like if someone rebooted LPS Special and made Caitlin Johnson a TikTok influencer instead of a special ed student. The fans would riot, because stripping a beloved character of their core identity for a cheap, trendy plotline is the ultimate act of creative betrayal.
You nailed it, Jacquel. There's a golden rule in this business: respect the source. Where GTFO, MLPFever clearly didn't get the memo, and now they're paying the ultimate price by having to delete the LPS popular reboot videos from their YouTube channel after the community backlash and, more importantly, a cease and desist request from SophieGTV. It's a harsh but necessary lesson in unauthorized IP infringement and audience loyalty.
So yeah, here's my verdict for this reboot. I'm giving it 0 stars. Not even a pity half star. It's disrespectful, boring, and just straight up wrong. It failed on every possible level, from storytelling to character integrity.
I totally second that. Look, we're not saying don't try new ideas. But don't butcher a legendary web series to make them. To all LPS2 creators out there, here's my advice: be original. Be bold. But respect the trailblazers. Don't spit on their work. True creativity lies in building your own legacy, not in tearing down the foundations that others sacrificed years to establish for the community.
And for the love of all things plastic and fabulous, leave Savannah and Brooke alone. They used to be friends, but now they're enemies. Not frenemies, and certainly not girlfriends. Let that idea go and move on with a story that actually makes sense in the established canon.
All I can say is, amen to that. And that's all for this week's episode of Real Reviews with Ryan Stark. Huge thanks to Jacquel Rassenworth for dropping by and reminding me that yes, even teenagers have more taste than some adults in this fandom, especially when it comes to recognizing a terrible, unauthorized character butchery.
Always happy to roast with you, Stark. In fact, this is the most fun I've had all week, and I'm about to drop a parody of LPS popular that is so unhinged, it'll make you want to watch the original series all over again just to cleanse your soul of the MLPFever remake.
I'm so looking forward to watching it once it's online. And I bet that it'll make the remake look like child's play because your version will actually be funny and well written.
And that's just what I wanted to hear.
And to the viewers out there, if you managed to watch this entire episode without cringing, make sure to follow us, leave a review, and for God's sake, don't waste your time on this reboot. Stick with the OG LPS popular. Trust me. Until next time, stay sane, stay salty, and stay far away from unauthorized trash pretending to be a new web series.